Good, whatever time of day it is for you, everyone. I am Bad Tempered Badger, and we're here today to talk about Mr. Purple, who needs to move. There are some links down in the description, so you can pay the guy because he can't move because he can't afford it. So he's in a bit of a difficult spot at the moment. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Right, that's the intro done. Links down below. I am here today with you.
Oh, you want me to introduce myself? I'm Ben from Jen's Little Corner. I think just about everyone in your chat probably knows me anyway, but hi guys.
I think they probably know you are, yeah.
Yeah, I think they probably know me. Well, most of them probably know me.
How are you doing?
Most of them are probably fucking sick of me. And are upset that I didn't really show my vagina in my video. So.
No, you didn't actually.
No, I didn't.
I saw that. I was waiting for the vagina to show up, and it was not forthcoming.
No, it wasn't. I just talked about it.
I think we should blame YouTube for that though, because.
Oh yeah. Well, there was talk between Meredith and I that maybe we should make a version of our videos to go on Pornhub, but we both decided against it. So.
Well, you could always put it on my channel.
Well, besides that, we would have had to both invest in stirrups so we could have put our legs up to show what we were talking about. So.
Oh dear. Well, you could always put it on my Pornhub channel if you like. It'd be the only actual thing on there.
You'd have to persuade Mary. I'm sure Navadia wouldn't do
it. Are you saying you would?
Oh, maybe. I've done worse.
Probably Nerdy had it zoomed in and everything.
Oh, sorry, Nerdy. I've seemed to have spent most of today talking about vaginas. It's quite dreadful, really. Anyone would think I was in love with them or something. Well, I do like vaginas and I like penis. I like both. I think it's a good way to be.
Nothing wrong with a good vagina.
Yeah, or a good penis. I mean, that's the whole thing. When you're bi or pan, you can appreciate both things, and I think that's a good way. And it's a good way to be. And I don't think even people who are heterosexual can appreciate both things. They might not want to touch one of them, but they definitely appreciate them.
Yeah, I'm fine with both in theory. And
it's the practice.
In practice, I'm fine with both as well. It's I have to be fine with the person they're attached to, though. You know what I mean?
Well, how did Billy Connolly described it? Oh yeah, he thinks he could quite handle being homosexual, provided they put him to sleep when the penis was put in, and he only woke up when it was taken out, because that bit's quite pleasurable.
All right.
Yeah, he was actually talking about visiting a proctologist, and the gloved hand in the bottom, and he's like, yeah, it was quite nice when he took it out, but not so great when it went in. Yeah.
Well, this is something I'm going to have to do something about. Look at this.
Oh, is that a challenge? Has the gauntlet been thrown down?
I think it may have done.
Actually, how many subs do you have now, Badger?
300 and something. Give me a sec.
Oh, you're catching up to me.
I've got too many windows open, but not actually enough windows to tell what's going on.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same at the moment.
323.
Oh, 323. I am 2 subs off 400, so sneaking so close to that 400. So if anyone in the chat hasn't seen my vagina video or hasn't subbed to me yet, after we finished here and after you've given Purple your hard-earned money, go over and check out my vagina video and sub. And even if you are sub, if you haven't checked out my vagina yet, what's wrong with you? Hey, Ola. Oh, and I see Notch's in the chat as well. Hi, Notcha.
Stop posting stuff when I'm trying to click on comments. It moves the one I'm trying to click on.
Oh, that's so freaking annoying, isn't it? It's really, really nasty.
I think you'd have to ask Novadia about that, Notcha. Oh, now down in the backstage we have a very special guest coming in because I made this video for it.
Hi, Dave.
Hello.
How are you? Did you like my vagina video?
I do. You just keep hiding it away.
Yeah. That was so much fun.
Dave,
Mara and I had been talking about it all week. We were doing these videos. It was just so much fun.
By the way, Dave, I am not letting you set up any more blind dates.
Oh. What?
It was a little shark.
What's your problem with blind women?
Problem. Let me show you the problem. This is the problem. This is not a date, Dave.
Of course it's a date. It didn't ruin the whole night.
Yeah, well, when I go out for dinner, I prefer not to be the dinner.
You made it out alive.
Barely.
Questions must be asked. Did she give good head?
I had to, otherwise I wouldn't have got out of there.
As long as there wasn't too many teeth, it would have been fine. What you wanted was the gummy shark.
Gummy shark. Hello.
Hey, Terry. You gonna hop in, Terry? Give us all hell.
Alright, I'm gonna put this headset on so we don't have any more echo.
And Mathpick, why aren't you in here, Mathpick? You could be giving us hell. And then we have somebody to blame. You know, it's nice to have Mathpick to blame. I mean, we can blame him anyway, but it's nice to be able to blame him.
By the way, what did you think of my flute intro?
I loved it. That was awesome. Do you guys watch my new promo for the new show that's coming up?
Is that you in it? Or is that stock footage? Was that you in
That's
it?
That's stock footage. It's stock footage, yeah.
So how did you...
stock footage.
No, I haven't seen it.
So how did you end up in 10 forward, Dave?
Some naughty rodenty thing put me here.
I think we should just take a moment to appreciate this.
It is brilliant.
The lovely 10 forward background.
It is gorgeous. Is the Starfield in the background stock footage?
It is stock footage, yeah. But I've made a few edits to the stock footage because I didn't like the color.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the purples. They show up really nice. It's amazing what you can do with a bit of stock footage and a fair amount of time.
It was more yellowy before.
I think it took longer to crop out the windows.
Yeah, it took me a lot longer to crop out the windows.
I hate that. You get a photo and you're trying to crop shit out. It's so annoying.
I'm just there in Photoshop, just clicking away.
Click, 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 click.
And then you get one misclicking. You're like,
and then you discovered that the last time you saved the image was 4 or 5 removals back.
And then Photoshop crashes.
Yeah. Oh, I've had that. The worst crash I ever had, though, is I had my... because I don't use Adobe for video editing, I use Corel. I had Corel crash just as I finished editing a video, and I stupidly was really tired when I did it, and I hadn't saved it all through the entire edit process.
Oh dear. I have done that as well.
There was an auto save that had happened like about half an hour back in my editing process, and I was like, well, at least I got something. But it took me forever to redo it, and I was like,
You can't cruise inside a black hole.
You see, I've done that with
in one direction.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I've done that with video editing, where I've spent literally like 2 or 3 hours trying to get something exactly right, and then the software just goes, nah, goodbye.
Yeah,
I haven't saved it for 3 hours. I'm like, but what?
My video. Yeah.
Oh, we got another one.
The worst thing I ever had with something like that, though, was
And he's back.
I was writing auto control software for the education department.
Oh dear.
And I'd spent 2 weeks writing this fucking software, and this was pre-Windows. Well, not pre-Windows, but it was early days of Windows, and still a lot of this stuff was under DOS. So this app was under DOS. It had to be. So I'd written. No, it wasn't punch cards. It's not that fucking.
She's not that old.
I have used punch cards, but only to learn about them. And I'd spent 2 weeks writing this piece of software. I'd edited it all up, and the hard drive died that I was editing on, and I had not backed a fucking thing up.
I think it's normal not to. That's the worst thing. The people in tech are worse for it.
Yeah,
we are dreadful for it. So 2 weeks of editing. So I had to build, including the underlying core code objects to run everything from the core code. I had to rebuild all of it from scratch.
I'm kind of the opposite.
All of it. So annoying.
No. Oh no. I'm kind of the opposite now because of that kind of thing. I never delete anything. So I've got let me just see. I have 14 gigabytes free on my main hard drive because I've got like 3 different copies of everything.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
I think the worst I had from code.
No, that's not that's not idiocy, that's intelligence. It's how you protect yourself. If it's a computer, it is designed to fuck you.
It's idiocy when I can't remember what it's idiocy when I can't remember what any of the things are for, what stage I was at when I did them, where I put them on the hard drive, and then I can't install anything new because I've just got all my space taken up by having the same bloody video files stored 5 different times.
I don't do that, but do you do this? When I download stuff, of course, it goes into your downloads folder.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I'm editing something, I will just go in the downloads folder, grab the new thing I've downloaded, import it directly into my editing app, and just save everything. So I've got files in my download folder that are attached to edited video files, plus videos that I've recorded of myself in another folder and stuff like that. So if I ever delete my downloads folder, I cannot recompile my videos. Re-render my videos.
I used to do that. I used to do that, and then I realized that I couldn't find anything because the downloads folder was just a mess of those little context files where it says for the video software how to use it. So I've started just anything that I do for a video project, I make a folder for it, and I have a folder. I have a folder with the file of the actual editing software file, and then I have another folder in there called bits, which has all the bits in it.
That's
a good plan.
That's why
I've got to go and reorganize.
That's why I have to reorganize all files.
Because I've got to rebuild my editing rig, and I've got a new SSD to go in it, and I'm going to put a couple of other bigger hard drives in it for more storage, and that means everything's going to be in different locations, so I have to sort this out. And I don't want to. So I've had all the parts to rebuild the editing rig, and I just haven't done it because I don't want to deal with all the files.
I bought Black Friday before last. I bought a new SSD and a new 4 terabyte disk. But I'm currently on top of my computer waiting for me to reinstall.
To install them, yeah. I don't want to reinstall the software either. I'm like,
that's my problem.
It's going to take too long.
See,
I'll
that's why I
probably
have
image
so many
the drive,
redundant.
I think.
That's why I have so many redundant files. Is because I have like 15 different copies of the same couple of files in like 15 different bits folders.
I mean, to be honest, I can't see any reason why I would re-edit my old videos. All I really need to do is keep copies of the finished product.
All right, I need to be right back. So entertain everyone.
Sorry?
I need to just go deal with something. So entertain everyone for me, people.
Entertain them.
My biggest data fuck up.
Yes, it does, MathPick. That's exactly what my folders look like on this machine. They're fucking dreadful. Folders is junk drawer.
I was running a call center.
Oh.
And there was something wasn't working in one of the scripts. So what we do is we pop into the SQL database and overwrite one of the customer records with our own phone number, and then wait for the call center to call us. So it's just update blast, set phone number to this, where ID equals this. Where ID equals this was on the next line, and I didn't highlight it. So I just set 30,000 records to my phone number.
Oh. Yeah, that's not clever.
No. They were really pissed.
I'm thinking at the moment I will probably just set myself up build myself a RAID, external RAID box, and use that and just back everything up and deal with it later, and just
RAID
make sure everything new I do.
What sort of RAID?
No, I'll probably just do it. I'll probably just do it as mirrored drives. Just do a 2-disc RAID.
The problem is, right? They're not reliable.
No, I realize that. That's not your main thing for backup.
Copies it at the end of the night.
No, that is true.
Just have 2 bloody discs and have it mirror it on the file system rather than.
Yeah, but you don't want them in the same machine. That's the thing.
No, but again, with
yes, I could do that just by buying a singular big USB external hard drive.
Yeah,
as well. I mean, you could do it that way too.
It's going to sound bad, right? I ran raids for years.
Oh yeah, I hate raids.
I've never had a satisfactory recovery from anything.
But that's not the point of. I mean, the problem with raid is it's a live protection against failed hard drives. Yes. That's all it is. It's not a protection against your data, because if your data becomes corrupted through software issues,
of course it does. But my point,
you're going to lose it anyway. And most corruptions are software.
Every situation where raid would have been useful.
Yeah.
I have either had to take businesses down because restoring the raid has taken days.
Oh, yeah.
Or the disks have failed at the same time because you're basically using the same disks.
Yeah, and they all are the same age.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's the biggest problem I have with RAID.
Like I said, it's not that I love the idea of RAID, and for years I used it on all the servers I ran. The
only advantage I can see with RAID is if you're running RAID 5 to get extra speed.
Yes, very much so. RAID, that's where RAID really fucking works.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole intent of RAID to begin with.
Yeah, it's not a backup system.
Yep.
But do you need RAID if you've got SSD?
That you can use. You can set up
a
RAID to be very good for backup.
So my aim when I build the new machine is I'm going to have I'm probably going to have 2 4 terabyte hard drives plus my SSD for working on the videos when I first work on them, and then once an edit's complete, it'll get copied into folders on the other drives, and then I'll have a backup system. So I'll have 2 internal hard drives, each with a copy of stuff I've been working on, plus an external backup.
I
think that'll cover my ass.
I have a nice thing at the moment that backs up to Google Drive.
But Google Drives aren't that big, and I've got
multiple accounts set up. They back up to multiple different accounts, which I've got 20 or so of. different things back up to different ones. But what I like about it is the fact that it PGPs everything first.
Yeah, potential.
Because no, it doesn't PGP it.
Yeah, I have seen it. They demonstrated the whole system online as tech tips to back up across multiple accounts, but it's still it takes so long. Yeah, I know, but I've seen it done. I've seen it done. There are apps out there for other apps. May I change topic
for a moment?
Yep.
I'm at that point. I'm having a sleepless day here, and I'm at that point where I need to decide if I'm going to try to sleep more or if I'm going to have a coffee. What should I do?
Have coffee.
I'm going to give you the advice of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi Master and giver of bad advice. You must do what you feel is right, of course.
So absolutely useless.
Fuck you.
You have a coffee, you stick around and you stare at my tits. That's all you do.
You need to lower the camera.
I don't.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm sorry, Jen. I like you a lot, but I got nothing. Jen, I like you a lot, but I got nothing going for your tits. All right. I've got my own to play with.
Yeah, but you like girls as well.
Well, yeah, but you know, you're pretty far away. My fingers are just not that long.
Not that long.
You need a better.
All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna go make some coffee.
My name's in the way. You want me to lower it? Yeah.
Oh, you were talking about thingy earlier. Guess what? I've got a week on Monday. Colonoscopy.
Oh. So you're doing well? No, Billy Connolly was the proctologist. Not the colonoscopy.
No, but I'm assuming that's mostly what a proctologist does.
But you can well, they explore assholes basically.
They should join Twitter.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
So while we're all here, we should discuss the thing we're actually here for, which is Mr. Purple. I don't know. Mr. Purple is trying to move, and he needs some funds because he's stuck. So there's links down in the description for you to check out, and if you think it's something that you can help with, then please do. And that's about the size of it, really.
Yep. So give
and
Purple
the other thing is, I am live with these lovely people here. If you want to come in and chat with us, the link is in Purple's group chats, or if you're not in Purple's group chat, send me a thing and I'll send you a thing.
And everyone likes the Dixie Badgers thing.
I believe it's funnily shaped. No, wait there, that's not a badger.
No, that's ducks, isn't it? They have corkscrew ones.
No, I was thinking the one that has. Oh, do you know what? I've spent too long on Bad Dragon. No, I'm shutting up. I was very disappointed yesterday in Quiplash that.
Was that on pigs? On Math Pigs?
Right,
No.
Dave. We need to talk about something, which is. Yes, I will share the colonoscopy pics if I am sent them, and I agree with Nerdy.
Pixar didn't happen.
I don't think the NHS give pictures or videos.
I can actually confirm that they do.
Oh,
Because a friend of mine.
So do we finally get to see Dave's colon?
A friend of mine recently had to have cameras inserted up her, and she showed us all the in-depth pictures.
Well, that was an evening's entertainment.
It was actually. It was quite interesting. It had charts to show exactly how far up the colon the pictures were taken.
I was surprised looking at the diagrams how not far they go.
It was really quite fascinating.
Well, I mean, Dave, will they really be able to see anything? Because doesn't the sun shine out your ass?
They've got filters for that.
They need solar filters to explore Dave's ass. You heard it here first on Badges.
There we go from the Mills Bub. We have some news. Hopefully it's popped up in the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, there we go. The GoFundMe has ticked up a bit, so we're doing well.
I can ask a question. Oh, no, I can't.
It's like Inception, really. You need to go deeper.
Sunglasses on it. Well, that's basically a solar filter.
Right. Okay, I've got a very odd question.
Go on.
Yeah, really? You're odder than what we've been talking about?
It's related to what we've been talking about because I've never had one. Right.
I could probably do one myself, actually.
Have you had one?
No.
Just answer my question then. But Dawn I've had might be able to. Right. It says that they might anesthetize or sedate, and you can't drive because of this. If you are, for example, used to accommodating, is it less likely that you're going to sedate?
Oh, can you have it done unsedated? I guess you could. It'd be a bit weird because they kind of leave it up there.
Do they? Again, I have absolutely no idea other than...
It takes them a while to do. I mean, I've never had one, but I know people who have. And they can be quite a while looking around and poking this thing around and say, local anesthetic's not a bad idea. But it only makes your bum go numb. So...
No,
or are they going to do yours under a general?
No, they give you gas and air and general.
Oh, they're going to put you out.
No, not putting out.
There's
not general. I'm not under general. Just made woozy.
It should be under admiral.
Well, they might is the problem. Is what it says.
Yeah. If you waited long enough before you went home, you should be fine.
I don't like keeping people waiting.
That's interesting, Doorknob Head.
Why would you not admit to any more?
I'd love for you to come on and discuss this with us.
Has Doorknob Head been on any of Purple streams?
Yeah, last time I had a general anesthetic, it was like, right, we're going to give you this. We want you to count back from 10, and I was out. I don't remember the rest of the conversation.
Do you know what the weirdest thing I had was the last one I had to have an epidural first.
Oh.
Right. So that's the first time I've ever seen an operating theatre in person. Because normally they knock you out outside and then wheel you in.
Yeah, no, I was in.
Right. But because they wanted to do the epidural, they wanted me hooked up to the machines first. And so they had me stand up to give me the epidural and then rush to get me to lie down and then knock me out. So the whole thing must have lasted less than 2 minutes from walking in, epidural, gone. But it was really...
You have to lean over for the epidural so they can find the gap in the... Oh, so they did it standing up. I thought they normally had people bend over so they could actually find this.
I was kind of half bent over the
yeah, half bent over, yeah.
Low down. Have you had an epidural? Really weird.
No, but I've seen one done.
It feels your legs just go terribly warm and then stop feeling.
They're really kind of dangerous to do too, because if
I've got a story. Not for me. Not thank God. Right, friend of mine had an epidural when she was giving birth. Didn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't work at all. They thought she must have been resistant to it or something. So basically went through birth without any pain control because the epidural didn't work.
Yeah,
2 years
lots
later,
of people go through birth without any pain control.
They do. 2 years later, she's walking through the supermarket and her legs just go.
Oh, they'd injected it into a pocket and it took that long for it to... Oh my god.
The pocket popped and released the epidural while she was out. She thought she was fucking dying.
Yeah, you would. That's funny, but it's not. That is dreadful, really.
Okay, the only medical story I have related to this is a while ago I went to the GP because I had like a whole list of mild complaints that I wanted.
Wouldn't you go to the vet, Badger?
Badger GP. So I went there because I had no, I don't go to the human ones. They're silly. So I went there because I had a whole list of like minor complaints that didn't really warrant talking to anyone on their own. But if I combined them all, I could justify to myself needing to see the doctor.
The typical male response to doctors.
Exactly. So I went in and I went through the whole list, and so the appointment basically went. The guy stuck his finger up my ass and told me that I had tendonitis in my ankle.
What? well, why have you got your finger up my ass? And I just like
completely unrelated.
Completely unrelated. I just enjoy putting my finger up people's asses.
Turned out I didn't even have tendonitis.
You're putting your finger up who's what?
What would have been better, Badger, if he shoved his finger up your ass, pulled it out, sniffed it, and goes, "Hey, you got tendonitis."
I wasn't looking. He might have done. But yeah, so it turned out it wasn't actually tendonitis. It was a peroneal tendon subluxation.
Oh, what? I have absolutely no clue what that is.
The peroneal tendon, which is the one that goes across the
subluxation, is
bottom
something
of your
being
foot.
out of place.
And it is not in the groove it's supposed to go in exactly. It keeps popping out of the little groove that it's supposed to run through.
The tendon shifted.
Yeah.
So in other words, your tendon would have stretched.
Yeah, my tendon's shit is the point that I'm getting at. That's why his finger was up my ass.
Yeah, he was trying to feel your stretched tendon.
No.
Through your ass.
And yes, it is exactly like that. That's why I don't go to see the human GPs, because they start bloody singing.
Yep.
They're there with the coconuts like...
Let's not go to the GPs. Anyway, they're all a bunch of silly cunts.
No, what I do is I walk in, and the guy looks up and he goes, "Hello there," and I go, "General practitioner."
And if he plays with your genitals, is he a genital practitioner?
No, that's the happy ending.
You get a happy ending.
Talking about genitals again?
If you're a good boy when you go to the doctors, you get a happy ending.
Do your doctors not do this?
Yeah.
So moving on.
It's been a while since I've been to a gynecologist, so and they generally don't play with you down there, so no.
I thought that was the whole point in going.
It's just creepy.
Moving on. So
And Badger will never ever be monetized again.
I've never been monetized, and I don't intend to be. To get monetized on your channel, you've got to jump through all kinds of stupid hoops that I'm not going to do. If I ever try to get any cash out of the YouTube, it'll be through donations.
And Patreon, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm probably not going to do that because I doubt I'm going to get big enough for it to do that, because I talk about a load of inconsistent bullshit.
Welcome to YouTube.
You and me both.
Have you watched like the last half a dozen of Jen's or Mero's videos?
I need to catch up on Mara's latest video, actually.
Yeah, well, you got to go and have a look at her clitoris.
I've seen yours, but I haven't seen hers.
Her clitty diddy?
Yeah, clitty. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, these guys are all my friends. They can play. Hang on, where was I going with that?
You're a bit far away, unfortunately. If you wanna fly me over to Kangaroo Land, then
you'll play with my genitals.
Well, actually, probably what I'll do is I'll die of heat exhaustion as soon as I get off the plane.
Oh well, I'll come to England then because I like the cold.
Do you like the rain?
Something really weird.
Actually, I don't mind that. I actually quite like England. It's all the assholes that you have over there at the moment that I don't like.
It's all right. The doctor's dealing with it.
I doubt there's a doctor in the world who'd go anywhere near Lynham.
Also, Orla, if you're still in the chat, I'm eating those things. Oh.
Those things.
Wouldn't Orla get jealous if you played with my genitals anyway?
No. I think, to be honest, I think this comment applies to both. Also this.
Yeah.
It's just storms now. We don't do anything else.
Yeah, no, I quite like England. There's parts of England that are absolutely awesome.
It's blowing the top of my shack away.
At some point, I will have to visit again. If you do, see, look, I'm not heavily financial. If I was financial enough, I'd probably come over for DaveCon. In fact, I'd probably prioritize doing DaveCon over doing
Faithless Forum.
Yeah.
See, I'm here. I'm probably not going to make it to DaveCon. For a start, I'm not Dave.
You can be an honorary Dave.
I know a Dave. I could send him, but he's kind of an asshole. So
most Daves are.
I know.
We know.
I have an uncle, and he's an asshole.
Do the job description.
Get hired by the Council of Dave.
Do you know what Narbolic is?
Oh, what?
Doesn't matter.
No, I didn't hear the word. That was all.
Narbolic.
A Noah Pollock.
No, Narbolic. It's a cartoon.
No,
it's a cartoon.
Oh.
It features the Dave conspiracy, where all the Daves get together to take over the world. It's a it's a brilliant series. It's a mad science.
Yeah, no, I've never seen it.
It's old. It's gone. It's not gone, but it's over. It's very disappointing when it ended. But no, I think Dave. I'm slightly worried that Worley is over-expecting.
What, the number of people?
Not the number of people. He seems to want to do more.
Oh.
Your
first time out.
I'm hoping he does do more because
Go on.
Why? He does do more because I'd like to actually get to one.
Well, come on the Sunday or the Friday. Meet us.
I'm miles away.
You're not that far. Train up to Bristol, then just wee.
Just wee.
We in Bristol.
That's what everyone else does in Bristol.
I was going to say.
That's what I was thinking. Although, isn't that more Brighton?
Sure, everyone will be called Dave.
So we now have to...
Oh, no, bollock.
Oh, dear. And Davecon looks cool.
It does.
I think this forum would be good to get to as well. I mean, I wouldn't complain about doing either. Although at the moment, I don't know which country I'd least like to visit.
Faithless Forum would be better if you want to grow your channel.
Oh,
I
definitely.
like Bristol. I've moved back to Bristol now. Well, I've moved to the outskirts of Bristol.
But there, I mean,
what do you think of the statement I've just highlighted, Dave?
I said I'd like Bristol. I'd move back to Bristol. But I didn't grow up there, so.
See, I like Bristol, but I'm not from Bristol. So when I go to Bristol, it's like, oh, lovely bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'd move. Like I said, I think what we do is if we come back to moving down there again, we'd move back into South Wales, into Chepstow sort of area. That's about 20 minutes outside.
Oh, that's
Bristol.
pretty. Sorry, there's bits of England that I remember and bits I don't. So
it's so nice it being so close to Bristol, and because I'm disabled, it doesn't cost me to cross the bridges, which makes it a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I remember going across the bridges. I like Wales. Wales is pretty. I like Scotland too.
There's also something very interesting if you do want to move somewhere interesting. Newport in Wales, which is in its own right a really shit town. Okay, is one of the, oddly enough, it's in the middle of nowhere, and yet it has some of the best internet connectivity in the world.
Yeah, but why would you want to live in a shit town?
We don't. You just live outside of it, because the point is, there is a military base just outside of it that does some very dodgy communication stuff. So the town is very, very well connected.
I don't want to. I mean, in all honesty, I don't want to live in England. I'd happily visit again, but I wouldn't want to live there. Yeah, your country's weird.
We know.
I don't. I mean, I do get it. There's still a lot of class issues in the UK, and that's where a lot of the bigotry that you guys get comes from.
We don't talk about it in quite the same way these days. There are class issues, but it's not so much like there aren't impermeable boundaries between them. It's more, rather than being a thing with clearly defined levels, it's more of a spectrum now. But
although I don't know if the upper class agree with that.
No, they probably don't, but they can go fuck themselves because they're all a bunch of rich cunts. So the thing with the spectrum is it's quite easy to find yourself in some sort of categories that apply to one level and some categories that apply to another level. Like you can find yourself in a quite reasonable job in terms of the amount of hours that you do, but still completely unable to afford to live.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'd rather live here, to be perfectly honest. Not necessarily where I'm living. I actually wouldn't mind moving back to the country at some point, to a smaller population base at some point than living in the big city. Although I like the big city life. Smaller city I grew up in, so I can cope with that quite well as well.
Which are you, Nerdy?
I want all my YouTube and Twitter friends to come and move to my town.
Why don't we all just buy an island somewhere and just have our own country?
Someone was suggesting that we buy the Kavanaugh Island. I can't remember who. Because it's
make
going
an
to
atheist paradise. Atheist and well, how about a not necessarily just atheist, but
if we go with just
non-fundamentalist.
Certain pagans can come too.
Yeah, pagans can come too. You have to be non-fundamentalist.
My issue is with trying to avoid certain agnostics.
Yeah. Name him.
No, don't listen to my channel. Or do fuck it, I don't give a shit.
I mean, I know who you're talking about. I would happily have a drink with Steve.
Oh no, I would. I don't mind Steve, to be honest. He annoys me sometimes.
I don't mind him that much. I don't mind him that much. He's fine.
He is now a meme in the community.
He's now what?
He's now a meme in the community.
But he's done that to himself.
Yes,
nobody did it to him.
Here's the thing with the chap in question. I've managed to have some perfectly lovely conversations with him. I had him on the channel some time ago to talk about, when that whole the atheist definition thing was the topic of the day. I had him on the channel and we had a whole discussion about that, and it was quite nice. But I haven't talked to him for a good long while because there's been all kinds of shit going on around him. I can't tell how much of it is due to his actions, how much of it is due to other actions. Everyone has a completely different structure of events in their head that they tell me. I can't figure out who's done what, and to be honest, I don't really give a shit. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm at that point that I don't give a shit anymore. I'm like, this has been going on, getting close to a freaking year.
He of all the stuff he has done, or not done, of all the stuff that is around him, there are certain things he has definitely done, and that made me say I can't have anything to do with it. And that is, he went after Mr. Atheist and Casey and Shannon, right? And it's where he was accusing, how could they stand by whilst Kyle did this, that, and the other? At the point at which there was no evidence of anything. And he forced them into a corner where they backed their friend, like most people that are very good friends with someone would. There was no evidence anywhere. You trusted your friend, and don't get me wrong, they were wrong. But the way that Steve attacked them was very wrong as well. Now, what happened after that? I've no idea who's telling the truth about anything. I saw that. So that's the point at which I said, this has got to sort itself out. But I know that behaviour, I don't think is acceptable.
You don't want to be involved with that.
No.
Yeah, I have the same opinion there. I'm fine with Steve, but sorry, Steve, I don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, that's kind of
I'm prepared to say that Kyle was an ass.
Oh, I think Kyle screwed him.
Oh, yeah, he's a fucking dickhead.
That side of it, I am fairly certain about, but that was
Kyle's
something that Kyle did, that he completely fucked that whole situation right up the arse.
Oh, yeah.
But equally, I think that Steve was the one that's the value. I don't think Steve's going to get anything out of it. And I think that Steve's the one that's caused that. I think if he'd taken legal action at the start,
himself in a position now where he has nothing really to draw on from that channel.
No. If he'd have taken legal action at the start, I think he'd have got something out of it. But he drew it out. I think he hoped that by piling on, getting publicly trying to pile on, that Kyle would give in. Obviously he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, from what I had from talking with Steve, that he pretty much is, as soon as he had somebody who was prepared to help him to pay for his legal fund, he pretty much went straight to town on it. It just took like all legal things took a while to go to court and everything. But there's still issues coming off that and everything. So, I mean, there's that whole
here are the details for the fundraiser on the screen.
Yeah.
Do you know?
So, I mean, there are issues.
Oh, we lost Jenny.
I have to ask because what's the current status?
With it,
of the what?
Kyle's claiming that that he wasn't served correctly with the papers for the original court case and is asking for it to be overturned and reheard.
And nothing's come back from that.
Yeah. Regardless, even if it was overturned and reheard, I don't see where Kyle can come out ahead on this.
Well, so if they accept expenses, is the only way.
Yeah, and how can it? I don't know how they can. I mean, if it's supposed to be was supposed to be a partnership originally, and there's video evidence that Kyle said that, then I don't see here how we can brush off the things.
Well, there still has to be an acceptance of the work.
Oh, true.
In the sense that you have to, I've seen it in partnerships before where you get one person that puts in a lot more work, and legally they end up getting screwed because there was never an agreement for that work to be done.
Yeah, and I think this is a problem. They didn't have a solid, proper written agreement. It was a gentleman's agreement. How the hell are you going to enforce that properly in any way?
You can't have a gentleman's agreement if you're lacking gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think this, I mean, it could totally end up that, because I'm not sure that Kyle actually wants the channel anymore, it could totally end up that Steve ends up with the channel back, and that's all he gets.
Here's the thing there. What's he actually going to do with the channel at this point? Because the name Non Sequitur Show is now heavily associated with this drama and this ongoing legal proceeding and this mess. It's not. There's no association with any kind of quality
and I
production
don't see the
to
point.
do with it anymore.
He has his own channel, and the people who follow him already are subscribed and watch his own channel. Mm-hmm. Where does taking Non Sequitur back actually help anyone? The only thing I can see from it is if the court might enforce that any money that came from views from it and have to be split in a certain way, and that's probably about it.
There is a certain prestige that comes with having this show with multiple people involved. But like within Time, for example, that kind of came up and has pretty much replaced what the Non Sequitur Show was before it went down the toilet.
Yeah.
But I don't think Steve is in a position to leverage any kind of prestige from having a show with a title.
No, because it would be a very different show. He can't. I don't think he could. I don't think he can make the Non-Sec what it was, which means it's going to just be basically his channel moving there. And like I said, I completely agree that I don't see how it can move. I mean, he can try, and it may be a success, but it'll be a different show. It'll be a different channel.
And if you're at that point, isn't he better off just concentrate on his Steve McRae channel, building his audience and his patrons, which he's been doing anyway? So
I would think that's the case, yes. Yeah. But I think it is better for him to focus on his own shit, and if he can get legally enforced payment for what he put into the thing, then great. But I'd rather just move away from the whole drama thing myself.
Yes, very much.
And on that topic of moving away from the whole drama thing,
should we move away from the whole drama thing?
What's all this about then?
And that's a good-looking badger.
Badger.
We could have to. There's too many badgers in this town. We're gonna have to sort something out about this. Let's have a look.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I this whole concept of creating shows with multiple YouTube personalities, actually supposedly being the owners of it, I don't know that it ever really works because people have their own creative ideas, and YouTube's not the place to do this. I can totally get doing partnerships and getting people to come in and co-host with you if you've got a show idea and stuff like that, and maybe even dual streaming it and stuff like that. Yeah, helping each other. So like the show that I'm planning, the communications, that came out of discussions that me and Navadia had in regards to interviewing a few science communicators, because it was something I wanted to do, and I asked her if she was interested in being involved in that, and she was. But my thought on that is, well, it's my show. I want to do that, but I'm happy to. I still want to share some of that with Navadia. I want to share some of that with Jenny. I want to, as in Jen Morgan. And there's a few other people who are creators who I want to have as co-hosts when I do different things because the topics will suit them and have big discussions with other people as well. So very much my show, but I want to co-host it with other people. And when I'm doing particular shows with certain people, like we've got a show coming up where Mary, myself, and Lizzie Lang will be talking about some of the new research in cancer. And whilst it'll be one of my communication shows, we're going to dual stream it. So, you know, from that.
Well, on whose channels?
That's sort of where it's going. On 2 channels, yeah.
Whose?
Mine and hers.
Lizzie or Mary?
No, Mary.
I didn't think
Lizzie has a channel. Well, she does, but she hasn't done much. Yeah, she's got one video or something.
How is
that
going to work? So I don't like that idea.
Mostly
because you'll support your yeah. No, it's not that I don't like it in general. That's fine. But her people are your people.
Yes, I am aware of this. This particular show, which I want as part of my own as one of my shows, came about because the 3 of us were actually chatting in private, and then I co-opted the show. And Mira, and it's only fair that as Mira was part of that she should be having that as a dual stream. So I don't have an argument in that because this wasn't me going out of my way to organize a show. This was something we talked about together and all decided we wanted to do this. So, but even though I'm going to present it as one of my shows, it's very much a very much a
successful though to do it again. Butting in on something that is absolutely nothing like that. Do you not think it would be better to do one show there that's then mirrored on your and then switch them instead?
Yeah, I'd actually rather it was mirrored and that, but I'd rather mirrored it afterwards, but I'm not asking her to do that.
Rather mirror.
She asked to dual stream it, and that's fine. Yeah, I'd rather she mirrored it afterwards. So mirrored it. Yeah.
At some point, there should be at some point there should be another collaboration with me and Notcha and Mara, but it's still in the planning at the moment.
Oh, that'll be awesome. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem. Dual streaming is okay as well. So I mean,
I've got no problem with the actual concept of dual streaming. It was literally just the fact that your audiences are the same. It's going to split the.
Yeah, you're going to end up.
It's going to split the. Well, I mean, the same thing happened. The same thing happens when Notcha and Miro dual stream.
It does.
So,
yes, I completely agree.
It's kind of strange, and I find dual streaming kind of. It's why I don't dual stream any of those chat things that we Aussies do as a group.
Yeah.
Thing, because I don't see the point in it. Everyone's watching them anyway, and they know all of us. If you're going to get extra likes and viewers out of it, it's because people come across who were on the other person's channel before, whatever. So I don't see this. I mean, especially for any of us who aren't actually monetized yet. I don't see that it makes any difference.
Okay, for the people that aren't monetized, it does make a difference because you need the view time.
Oh, that's true.
That depends if you are trying
to get on your channel at the same time as I was watching it somewhere else. If you were dual streaming it, like 6-pack or something like that, because it gets you the view time when you're live.
I think that depends though if you are trying to get monetized.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, from my perspective, I guess Mero is trying to get monetized at the moment, but from my perspective, it's more a case of I'd rather get a few more viewers so that people will come and watch the stuff I'm producing rather than worry about my view time at the moment because it's nowhere near what it needs to be. So I don't have enough subscribers yet either to worry about it. So
I don't know what your stats are, but the dozen or so channels that I am helping with things, they are all struggling with view time.
Yeah, mine's pretty low.
Say that view time is where they're going to get the bottleneck. They will hit.
My view time's absolutely fucking awful because I never put anything on my channel these days.
No.
my view time was awesome when I did when I was doing lots of live streams each week, but I can't do that at the moment. So Yeah.
No, so, I'm trying to actually put stuff on my channel, but I'm having a lot of like real world issues right now, so I can't dedicate much time to it because I need to get me world sorted out. It's been a bit of a mess lately.
What time? I just realised.
Rings just started up.
Yeah, that's what I was about wondering.
I'm just going to find him on the thing and see what is happening.
Because I don't know if Ring wants me to join.
Yes.
Yeah, he does. I should probably hop in there. Sorry, Badger.
Well, I'm probably going to... That's all right. I should probably be wrapping up anyway, because he's doing a... Is he doing...
He's doing his special. Yeah, he's doing his special, so...
Is it part of the fundraising thing, or is it his special for...
I don't know if it's part of the fundraising thing, but it's his special for his hitting the...
We can make it part of the
He's dumped it in the chat as part of it, so I think it probably is part of the fundraising.
I'll put a link to it in the chat, and then if anyone wants to go over there, then they can do so.
I think this is meant to be part of it because he has sort of dumped it in the list, so in Perp's channel, and the join for us as well. So yeah, so I think it is, but it's also his thing for getting 100 subs. So yeah, it's his Q&A. So yeah, and but I think it's also meant to be part of Perp stuff. So
hang on. I'm hearing too many people talking at once.
What dream?
Yeah, no, it's because I opened up his stream to put something in the chat, and then I had him talking as well. Right, so I put the link to Ring's stream in the chat. So anyone wants to go and check out his stream, they can do so. I'll probably wrap this one up in a little while if he's doing that as part of the fundraiser as well.
I'm going to hop over there, so if people want to jump over, I'll be over there in a minute.
I'll do a little wrap up.
Thanks for having me. This is great fun.
Here.
Awesome fun, Badger. And go check out my vagina video.
Have fun.
I love being able to say that because it's a great
broadcast halfway through that statement.
Oh, do you want to try again?
No. Kick her as she says it.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to try and do that?
Just kick her as she says it.
Are you ready, Badger?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Go check out my vagina.
Oh, that's terrible.
We got you.
Hello,
All right, so you go have fun over on the other thing, Jen. We're gonna just wrap up here. So, what do we need to talk about for the fundraiser, Dave? You're the guy with the mouth.
The links. Right, Purple needs help. He needs to get to somewhere beginning with M in America that I've completely forgotten. Either it could be Mississippi or Minnesota, or I'll click the link. It says Minnesota. I was right.
Outstanding. So is that where he is, is that where he is, or where he's going?
No, that's where he's going.
That's where he's going. Where's he now, or is that not known?
That I don't know.
Whatever. So he's somewhere right now, and it's not that great, and he's trying to get to Minnesota. So he needs a bit of cash.
He does.
Because he's right in the shit in terms of the financial situation at the moment. So, if you are willing and able to help out, and assuming you want to, and think it's a good cause, there are links in the description to take you to the various fundraisers for Mr. Purple. That's about the size of it for the donations, I think. He's a nice chap. He's a lovely guy. He runs twice weekly streams and other stuff with discussions, which I never make it to because both of them are on times when I'm doing something else. So, unfortunately, I haven't. Yeah, unfortunately, I have managed to get into almost none of his streams lately because both of them are at times when I'm either out or sleeping.
It's these dodgy Americans working on really weird time areas. If they'd all switch to GMT, we could solve these problems.
Yeah. Just be up at the night time, but it'll be the daytime for us. And as we are central, we're right in the middle of the map because we made the maps. So it's clear that everyone should conform to our standards.
We invented time.
Right. Link. I'll put it in again. Link to Ring's Q&A stream in the chat. Everyone head over there. That is the next doodly doodly do.
You don't have to do your really sexy end tagline.
How do I type? There we go. Link to the thing in the place. Oh, you're here just in time for us to go to somewhere else. Right. So thanks for coming, everyone. We are moving over to One Ring's stream for the next part of the fundraiser and his Q&A. So thank you very much for coming. And bye!